Hey everyone, and good to see you. I'm Ryan from Schoolified, and today I'm with Lisa, who is a teacher, a tutor, and she has a wonderful tutoring business. And I don't want to take too much time, but Lisa, we've been in relationship with you for a while now, and you came on board earlier in the year and tried out Schoolified, and it just wasn't ready for what you needed, I think, right?
Oh, yes. I was excited about the opportunity to do group sessions. And I had a specific need in the earlier part of the summer to do an Algebra I remediation course. And it was for a certain clientele of students that had not done well in the previous year. And the goal was they needed to pass an exam at the end of the summer. So I had a very specific need to be able to reteach this group of students, and I decided to do it based on a group model. And the idea was we'd meet as a group a couple of times a week. I would meet individually with the students a couple of times a week. And then I also had office hours where they could drop in and ask questions as they continued with the assignments outside of class. And I was very excited about it, and I thought it would be great. Schoolified seemed to be the right platform. But as I got into it, I noticed there were some things missing that I was so used to using with my Zoom tutoring. And that was the ability of multi-cameras. I didn't realize until I got into it how much I like to switch cameras.
Right.
And I have a document camera. I have a webcam. I have my laptop cam. And I even have virtual cameras. And those are using apps that allow me to create virtual monitors. And so I can share a monitor that I don't really have to own the monitor. And you can do it through software that make little gadgets for that. And I realized as I started this journey that things weren't quite ready for prime time. And the ability to easily switch between what I was doing was a bit of a challenge. And there was some bandwidth issues my students faced. And so I met with you guys, and you listened very closely to what I was needing, and met with several other tutors. We had several focus groups where you listen to things to make it a better platform for us tutors, as opposed to like a classroom situation. And things like the on-demand, being able to have a package that takes care of it all. So I'm excited. I met with you guys this past week and tried out some of the new features. And we talked about me sharing with other Schoolified educators or those that are interested, how I envision using this platform with all my little gadgets. Yes, I am a geek at heart. And
I love, one of the things I've loved about getting to know you is just like, I mean, like the camera situation is like way beyond me. So when we met together last week and you were showing me all this stuff, I could not believe that like, wow, like first of all, the experience of it's really cool. I was envisioning myself as a student, but you have all these different cameras going so that kids can watch you write. Kids can, I mean, what you're going to show us here in a minute, I really hope. But I was also very impressed with it, just in general, like everything you offer as a tutor. And I was also very impressed with Schoolified because we're going through it and you're like, I'm trying to break it. And you didn't, which is cool. So,
well, I did a very good job in the spring. I did a very good job in the spring.
Yes, you did.
Putting it through its paces. And I would send little emails going, I broke it again. I broke it again.
Right.
And
so helpful for
us, and through my testing, the first time we met, you guys discovered a lot of adjustments to make it more stable, which based on my testing has seemed to be the case. And because I have a knack to put you guys through things you never thought of before. I would get these little messages that, well, we hadn't thought that anyone would do that. and I managed to do it. And
It's amazing.
so through
But
that,
so helpful. So helpful.
well, you know, I used to be a computer programmer, so I definitely understand what you guys have to go through to make this thing work, and you've done a great job. So, so my typical scenario is I have documents I share with students. I have students that need to share their screens, and that was another adjustment that was made, but the cameras, the ability for students to share screens, and for me to be able to share what I do on my iPad. And that's where the OBS comes into play. So with that, let me share my screen a little bit.
Yeah, so this would be for a tutor who, this would like, you're presenting what you do as a math tutor and who has all these different functions. So as you're showing us, like, tell us like the use case of what you're doing as well.
Okay. All right. So let me share my screen with you. So here I am in Schoolified. I have a class, and this is my webcam. And we've got Ryan up in the corner as one of my students. And what I love is I can switch my cameras. And I have a camera that has a calculator with it. That's my document camera. So I have it zoomed in to show students how to use a calculator. I can also switch, and this is what I love, is if one camera breaks, I can go to another one, which has happened before. And then, but what I really enjoy using is something called OBS. And OBS is a program that allows you to do mini cameras and switch between scenes. There are companies, my first one was called Manicam, M-A-N-Y-C-A-M. And that, as an introduction, is wonderful for you to create scenes. And it becomes just a quick toggle. So instead of going to change the camera on Schoolified, I have an app that allows me to switch and show my document camera, my Mac. Hello again. But what really is nice is I can actually do picture in a picture with it.
Wow. So you're picture in picture in Schoolified, which is awesome. That's
and
so cool.
before this was a challenge. And I even can do my side camera, and I have shared, this is a document on my iPad. And this is where I love using these kind of programs, is I can be a picture in a picture, and this is just through the camera. This isn't even sharing a screen.
Right. It's just through the camera that it's going to Schoolified, but you're controlling it all through, you said OSB, right?
OBS.
Yeah.
OBS.
Okay.
So if I can then show this presentation. So this is the full screen that my students would see.
Correct.
And it's actually coming off of my iPad.
Right. Wow. So your iPad is an additional screen on there as well.
Exactly. And I use a product to, this is what they call a virtual monitor through a program called NDI. And there are, and what we'll do is maybe, Ryan, I'll give you the links of some of these products to add in the comments. But the nice thing about, and Minicam was the other one, you can buy a little device that plugs into a USB port that mimics a monitor. So you don't have to actually buy another monitor.
Right.
So that allows you to do some additional things. So Schoolified was able to put the multi-camera ability in, allowed me to do some of these advanced features. In fact, I kind of talked with my husband last night. I said, I think I need to do a webinar. Maybe I need to do a Schoolified class and show and teach what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So look for the link for that.
Yeah, folks, if you'd be interested in learning more about the tools, tips, and tricks, maybe we can get into a Schoolified. Lisa can teach a couple-week course on Schoolified for tutors about it. That'd be awesome.
Oh,
We'd love
I
to.
would love to do it. I would love to do it. And
That'd be awesome.
so so right now I'm just toggling between the different scenes within, and so I've got this camera off to the
Yeah.
side, so that helps me do some really cool things. And then if I need to share, this is fun. I need to share a window. That's not even going to the web browser within Schoolified.
No, it's just your camera.
This is a textbook online.
Right. It's amazing.
So one of the things that I realized as I was working with the students early June is I needed the ability to see what they were doing, but they needed to see my web page too. So
Right.
it was allowing me to have a web page, and then they can share their screen now.
Mhm.
So it really kind of, the features are really just coming in nicely. And then I can also share, so I'm going to share, this is showing the screen, my OBS screen. So how I'm switching between the different cameras.
Yep. I see that.
Okay. So
Well,
yeah, it's kind of
That's
cool.
it's
And
really great because it really, I feel like when we were doing our testing and even now again, it really helps you, like the software and then the ability that Schoolified can support this and what you do. It's as close to like live in person as possible, right? Because like I can see, especially like,
oh
I'm
yes,
really impressed with the one document, the one cam you have where it's your calculator, or you could actually be writing out a math problem by freehand and showing the kids that way as well. And that to
absolutely.
me, huge. Yeah. So that's
And
really great.
it really is. And then the neat thing is I can still use all the features of, like I have loaded in, and this is where I have a PDF loaded into
Yeah.
Schoolified, and students can work on it. So this is where Schoolified really shines. So now I have everyone. So
So that's
Ryan is
me.
one of my is demo student 1. He's writing on that. Okay.
Right. So hi.
But
That's my
hello.
screen.
And exactly. And so
Right. So
I
if you
can
had other two
still,
students, you would see what they're doing as well, live as they're doing it, which is great. So you can see I'm writing there and everything.
and it's fabulous to be able to do that. And then what's fun is I can drop in.
So then we can work on mine together. The other students get informed, that the other students get informed that you are with me in a class.
And I could circle and say, look at that right there. You need to focus on that question.
Right. And I'll say, oh yeah, right here. I agree.
You need to, I
300
had
yards
realized.
over. So that's great. So that's wonderful. And again, this is really perfect. Now, obviously math tutors could use this, but really any tutor can use it who has a need for like showing different things going on in the environment. I can think of like if you're doing a cooking class, this might be really useful.
Oh,
Obviously, if you're
yes.
doing like read along and you want your finger to kind of be along, again, like anything that's in front of you, multi-camera in that way, I think that's super, super helpful. So yeah.
Well, what's nice is Schoolified is now, I mean, I don't even notice, if you notice my bars on a moment ago when I was sharing the screen, my internet is not real great right now.
Right.
But
Neither is mine,
it,
to be honest. I have like one bar in my
it
screen.
is holding true. That's
Yeah.
what's, so the stability has definitely, the design team and tech team behind this, because I would find a way to break it, and I did multiple times.
Yes, you
So,
did. And I did too as an
so,
early user.
so
But yeah, we've come a
clearly,
long way. We've come a long way, and a lot of that again is thanks to you and to our users. We've had a few tutors jump on board full time this last week with groups of 5 and 6, and it's holding. Math tutor in particular, and is working really great. She's had a good experience, and her students, majority of her students have agreed that it's a better experience than Zoom for them. So we are really pumped about that. And she is excited because she can see what the kids are doing, whether they are in class or not. So that's really helpful. So Lisa, what do you see is what's another draw for you to Schoolified? I know I've been speaking recently with some tutors about just they're so busy, and Schoolified, and I don't know if this is for you, but we're trying to automate all the admin for folks too, right? The registration and the nightmare that can be. Is that one of the draws for you as well?
well, what I'm currently using another system, and this is what I actually tested it out. That I'm currently using Tutorbird, and
Yep.
so I have everything on Tutorbird because I'd already loaded up my file. And what I've discovered is a way to kind of simultaneously to transition
Right.
is Tutorbird syncs with Google.
Mm-hmm.
So Schoolified calendar syncs with Google.
Mm-hmm.
So I can set up my calendar in Schoolified, and it can read my availability
Yeah.
from Tutorbird. So
Yeah.
I can set up. So I tried this out the other day. So I tried to schedule, pre-schedule a class,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed, I will break it, I'm sure I can find it, but it seemed to work nicely
Yep.
where I've got things already in one world, but I eventually need to transition. I can't do it all right away, but how to manage 2 calendars, because Tutorbird syncs with Google Calendar, and you guys
Mm-hmm.
have the two-way. You have the two-way.
Right.
So
Yep.
then I can then create a schedule in Schoolified, but it would read my Tutorbird schedule as being busy.
Yeah. Because that's one of the
Now,
things you were expressing last week was that transition is not always easy. It's not overnight transition for everybody, especially, if people are just starting out and they put together a new group and they're able to, that's fine. But like someone like yourself, which is probably a majority of our ideal clients, are already going. They're already tutoring and they have a system in place. Maybe they're looking for a new one. And yeah, our calendar updates, that update probably came like about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it's a great update that it can read two-way like that. It's definitely helpful.
because not all systems do that. They push, they don't pull.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so I haven't really totally tried it out yet, but
Yep.
that would allow a tutor who is wanting to do some group things get scheduled in Schoolified, but maybe
Yep.
still do their one-on-ones the way they are. But you guys have really upped the ante on the one-on-one
We
instant
have,
tutoring.
yeah,
And
the one-on-one instant tutoring. So you're able to schedule a single session instantly for one student up to 10, or schedule the sessions for one student one-on-one all the way up to 10. And I think it was you as well who helped us really develop and get the ball rolling on. We're coming out with packages soon, right? Where you can offer a group session and a one-on-one session, whether that's the tutor schedules these things or you open up your calendar and you decide whether you allow mom and dad, you set the parameters around your availability in your calendar. It's crazy. Like the functions are crazy right now and like what's possible. And we have you to thank for big time of it, because every tutor is so different. Every tutor is so different. It's crazy.
That's what I told you at the first end when I kind of joined in. I said, I am a unique little bird here. And so, but so much of what I do, others reach out to. But what was great this summer when I started with that group class, I had one parent want to pay for all the sessions. We had 14 sessions as the group sessions once.
Right.
And then, but you could also do weekly payments with the other parents all in one class. I didn't have to say, well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to go to weekly, or force the parents. The parents had a choice. And as a tutor, I could set it up how the different options would be. And that was nice. That was very nice.
Yeah, for sure.
And then everything happened
Mhm.
seamlessly through Stripe.
Yeah.
Everything happened seamlessly through Stripe.
Yeah, it's really easy. We, yeah, for sure. That payment option, for folks who don't know, when you're setting up your class, you can make available, you can just make every parent pay in weekly payments if you want. You can make them all pay in a one-time fee, or you can give them the option, and that's kind of what Lisa's saying. And that's definitely, you know, we're trying to provide opportunities and choices for tutors and teachers, but the more opportunities and, you know, options you can allow for parents, the easier as well. And the best thing about this, Lisa, is like once you set it up, you don't have to chase the parents, right? You know, one-on-one, that's, maybe you have time, maybe you have that luxury to chase parents down, but I know, like, as you're gonna be scaling, when you have 60 parents, 70 parents, 80 parents, the last thing you're gonna wanna do is billing and invoicing and chasing people down. It's just not gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Good. Well, is there anything else you want to say, Lisa? We really appreciate it. You are
No,
available.
thank you, Ryan.
Can you, what's your website? How do people find you?
Probably Lisa at tutors901.com.
Lisa at tutors901.com. Awesome.
And so what we'll do is, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe offering a technology course, because what I do isn't limited technology-wise to just Schoolified as far as the camera goes. It's something beyond that. But hey, I could have that group class using Schoolified.
Tech for tutors or something. That's
Tech
right.
for tutors. There we go. I don't do just that.
There you go. For a 4-week course or something. We'll plan it out. That'd be fun.
All right, great. Thank you very much for having me today.
Thanks, Lisa.